100%.
have arrived at some theological conclusions in combination with therapists around grounds for divorce based on Bible and sociology and the two. So these are Christian therapists that have theological degrees and psychological degrees. Because here's what we know. There's a lot of gray in the Bible. There's a lot of black and white, but there's no scripture for porn. In terms of that says porn, because
Right.
there was
Or
no computer, right?
masturbation, or there's certain terms that just are not in the Bible.
Yeah,
For
they're
sure.
not necessarily
Online dating,
there.
not in the Bible. Online dating and the whole concept of it, right? Okay.
So what we're having to do in our world today is determine and extract the heart of God in a modern world based on an ancient text. And so what I'm going to give you now, just really quick, it's very simple. 4 is 4 words, and they're all A's around divorce. Adultery, addiction, abuse, abandonment. So let's do it again. Adultery, addiction, abuse, abandonment. I don't want to get into a theological discussion about all of that, but those 4 categories based on therapists walking with couples, and then based on reasonable theologians that have studied this deeply, they've arrived at these 4 conclusions that if you're in one of these boxes, based on scripture and based on sociology and scripture combined, it's grounds for divorce. In other words, would the heart of God say stay in this?
If one of those 4 things
That's
existed.
essentially right. And when you get to abuse, that's where it gets a little muddy. And this is where, because I counsel couples in this all of the time, and what you're basically having to do with couples is sit down with them and get in the mud and see the pain and the despair and the destruction that has happened to each one of them based on this situation they found themselves in. We have to understand, and I'm done with this. I feel like I'm preaching. We have to understand that we're living in a fallen world and in a broken state, and people take their brokenness and get married. And when you take your brokenness and you get married, now all of a sudden you have kids. I know. I'm going to give a story. You have kids that are now raised in this brokenness, and then they become broken, and that's not the heart of God. I know